What's up guys, and welcome back to a brand new episode of my F1 2017 career mode, and we are here for round number 17 of season 3 for the USA Grand Prix at the Circuit of the Americas. A very sunny Circuit of the Americas, may I add, and we're here for Friday practice to try and get the car shaken down, ready for the race weekend in front of us. But before we do that, if you guys did miss the previous episode at the last race, which was a very interesting one, because Raikkonen, who's our championship rival, had a couple of things going on in that last race. So if you have not watched it, then I do urge you to go check it out, because that sort of changed the title race complexion a little bit and the battle for the championship. So that's basically giving me now a chance this race to actually extend my lead, and also, you know, take it very comfortably and take it very easily from now to the end of the season, because there's no major risks involved, and Raikkonen is no longer a major threat because of what happened. So do check that out if you haven't seen already to see exactly what happened. But as you can see, we're currently in Friday practice, getting the car up to scratch. Good setup on the car, trying to get a feeler for it, and straight off the bat I could notice that AR seemed to have a little bit more pace than me around here. Unlike past races, I definitely feel like I was in the back for a little bit more, and I've also felt like with the R&D lately we've sort of slowed down a bit. Even though I am putting away R&D points, I feel like the car performance has just dropped off slightly. I don't know why, whether it's just because of the nature of these circuits, it doesn't really suit our car, I don't really know. But the last few races I feel like we've been struggling a little bit, and this weekend was no different, as we are a little bit off the pace here. But as you can see, after Friday practice we are going to switch out power unit 3 to power unit number 5. I'm going to keep power unit 4, preferably only for the last race in Abu Dhabi. We might have to run that in Brazil possibly, based off of engine wear, so we'll keep an eye on that. But if not, we're going to try and use power unit 5 for the next few races and try and save number 4 for the last race. It'd be nice and aggressive, and if need be in the last race, if we have to, you know, finish it off in the last race, then we've got pretty much a brand new power unit waiting for us there. So hopefully that strategy works out for us and it pays off. But we're here now in Saturday qualifying, and Q1 went very well for us, qualifying in P6, getting through quite comfortably. Ocon in P3 there, but then in Q2 we opted for the super soft compound tyres, which is quite interesting, because in the last race at Japan I didn't feel like I had the pace, so I just went for the softest compound. This race I'm going against my gut instinct, and I'm going to go back to my roots and go back for a harder compound, and it seemed to work as I go P2 behind Raikkonen there. So a very good lap there to kick things off. But then in the last minutes of the session, it all hell broke loose, and we dropped down to P8, and for a second I got really scared, because I thought we was going to get knocked out. But luckily we just got through in 8th place there, and Ocon in P6, and even Raikkonen had to switch over to a set of ultra softs there. But we're now going to jump into Q3. Luckily we managed to get into this session, and we are going to strap on the ultra soft tyres, and now into turn 1, 100 meter ball down to 3rd gear here. Very important to pick up the apex at turn 1, and then it's even more important to pick up the traction on the exits and make a little adjustment on the brake bars here for the rest of the lap now, as we go into the very twisty S section, reminiscent of Silverstone, and a very nice run through here. Nice bit of momentum is key to get the car to roll through nicely, and just let the car sort of naturally flow through these corners. And so far we are fastest in the first sector, so a very good way to start the lap off here. As we now go over the crest, now down the hill here through the flat out kink, and pretty much that is the end of the twisty sections. We now go 50 meter board down the 3rd gear for the hairpin, and now this corner is really important that you get some good traction onto the back straight. As we go up through the gears now, open up the DRS on the back straight, and now basically it's a question of maximising your straight line speed, and then spot the 100 meter board on the right hand side as your brake point down to 3rd gear for this very tricky 90 degree, if not a little bit more, maybe 100 degree left hander here. Tricky corner, you got to come back on yourself slightly. Now into the very complex final sector here, very tricky through it. You got to be very careful, very good finesse with the car, and keep the front end nice and tidy as we now go into this double apex left hander. I missed my apex slightly, getting the car a little bit too wide there, just understeering wide, and now through the flat out reminiscent inverted version of the turn 8 at Turkey here. Very nice, just, you know, good line, nice and clean, not scrubbing off too much speed. And then through the penultimate corner I get a little bit of a poor line, cutting the corner and then extending it on the exit, and not getting the best of lines through there, so that's going to cost me a little bit of time as we now go through the final corner, open up the DRS and across the line. Where is the lap going to put us? It's been pretty good except for the penultimate corner, and it's going to be P6, so not too bad there, and a pretty good lap to cap things off in qualifying. And I'll take that, because like I said, I don't think we had great pace. I thought we were struggling a little bit all weekend long, so that's a very good lap for me, and 9/10 off pole position, which was Kimi Raikkonen. So we've got work to do in the race tomorrow to try and catch Raikkonen, because obviously he's got the pressure's on him to bounce back tomorrow, so he's got to get the result. But I would like to do some damage limitation if possible and try and improve on my 6th place. But other than that, that's going to wrap things up for qualifying, and we are now going to jump into Sunday for the race for Kota. Right, so here we are on the grid for Kota at USA, and P6 on the grid, third row, not too bad, alongside Max Verstappen, and crucially beat our teammate Esteban Ocon, who starts from P7, but Kimi Raikkonen is the man on pole position. That's the man we got to beat here today, and we can just about see him directly in front of us there, slightly to the right hand side, but Kota, a track that I do love. However, I felt like the cars struggled a little bit this weekend, and overall, just the last few races, I feel like the cars not really had the pace, even though we have been doing the upgrades. I feel like the car's lacking a bit, so after this race we will purchase an upgrade to try and get more on the pace, as we do now have enough resource points, and it probably will be an ultimate downforce one, but obviously we can't do that until the race is finished, so we're going to focus on this race now and see what we can do, but like I said, we've got to work out, because I think we ain't got a great pace, so we've got to try and be very good every single lap, and have a very good strategy. And speaking of such, we're going to go for the one stop here today, switching over to the soft compound tyres, and also overfueling the car a little bit, one extra lap, just in case we need to use rich mix whenever necessary, but overall I'm looking forward to the race. Hopefully we can sort of, just do some damage limitation. We've got no pressure because we've got a massive points gap over Raikkonen. He's the man that's got to win this race, and hope that I have some issues. But we're going to see what we can do here today and try and have a good race. So without further ado, let's jump straight into round 16. Or sorry, no, round 17. No, yep, round 16 of the season, or 17. I don't even know anymore, but we're going to jump straight into the USA Grand Prix. Right then, here we go on the grid. We're going to gear up to the 5 red lights, and it's going to be lights out and away we go. Only man in the top 10 on the super soft compound tyres, so we've got to factor that in when it comes to this start. It's actually a pretty good start here, getting the run on Sebastian Vettel into turn 1. We're going to go up the inside. We've got Bottas there who's going to close that gap on me. A little bit of contact with Sebastian's left rear, and that sort of just upset the car balance a little bit. But right now, Hamilton's taking the race. We're going around the outside of Sebastian Vettel here into the S's. We made the move on Sebastian and taken a position there, so crucially we've got on past one of the Ferraris and we're up into 5th place, but Raikkonen has dropped down to P2 behind Lewis Hamilton, so the Mercedes cars off to a fast start here today. Bottas in P3 as well, so Vettel and Raikkonen really the big losers from that race start. Ocon holding P7 I believe still, so let's see what the pace is like on this tyre, and let's see if we can keep up with this front 4, and also if we can keep Sebastian Vettel behind us. Lance Stroll out of the race, issue for the Williams car. He's pulled over to the side of the track at turn 1 I think, but right now pace is okay, nothing spectacular. We are struggling to keep up, unfortunately, and especially Lewis Hamilton really good, setting a good pace up front, really pulling away here, which is very impressive, and he's dragging obviously Raikkonen and also Bottas with him. Verstappen seems to be struggling to keep up also, but right now everyone's fairly spread apart, but crucially Vettel was the man who is still very much on my tail, and Ocon's not too far behind him. But here we go, DRS is now enabled this lap, so we might have to do some defensive driving here versus Sebastian. Also, Ocon may well launch an attack on the German if he gets close enough. I think we'll be okay into this brake zone, but I feel like Ocon and myself have some very good straight line speed around here, so I think Ocon might be the one making a move on Vettel before Vettel makes a move on me, I think, because I've got such good straight line speed. Right, personal best pace is still good. Vettel still all over the back of me, but he can't get past me because my straight line speed is so good. Meanwhile, we are keeping up with Verstappen, and I think we're pretty much matching him for pace now. I think his edge on the Ultras is starting to drop off slightly. Meanwhile, the front 3 of both Mercedes and Kimi Raikkonen, they've got some other sort of pace. Like they're in another planet. So we'll try and compete with them, obviously, because we are on the one stop. So it might come back to us later on in the race. But even still, I think it's going to be very hard to match those guys for overall race pace. Right, Vettel's really close this time. This time he's going to try and go for the move. I'm going to go defensive and fight him a little bit. I'm not going to go too overly aggressive here, but Vettel has gone for the move up the inside. I'm going to go around the outside of Sebastian. Can we hold it? Yes, we do. There we go. Lovely stuff. Nice bit of defensive driving, and we stay ahead of Sebastian for now. Right, another personal best. Just picking up the pace a little bit, and also reacting to Vettel, obviously trying to make a move on me on the last lap, but he's definitely picking up the pace now. I feel like it always happens with the Ferraris, start off very slow, but they seem to pick up the pace as the laps go on, and they go faster and faster, which seems to be their trademark, and Vettel's no exception to that, as he's now starting to find some severe pace, and I'm struggling to contain him behind me. Pascal Wehrlein out of the USA Grand Prix. Meanwhile, Sebastian Vettel has got a run on me here with DRS, and he's actually going to go to the outside this time into the brake zone. I'm going to hold the inside line. I should be okay to defend this, and that's going to be fairly comfortable for me. A little lock up on the left front, but no major qualms there as we keep Sebastian behind us. Verstappen's just up the road. I just can't make any inroads. Our pace is basically like identical. Well, that's the word I'm looking for. It's just identical pace. Meanwhile, I'm keeping up this all training cars behind me, but I would let Ocon through if I could, but it's just the fact I've got to let Sebastian through, and then obviously everyone else might overtake me, and I might lose too many positions and too many points to Raikkonen. So I've got to play this carefully. So right now we're just going to keep on doing what we're doing. Ultra soft runners should be coming into the pits very soon anyway. Okay, so Sebastian Vettel comes into the pit lane, so he's the first man to bite the dust. Also, Ocon comes in, so they're both off for the Ultra Softs. I'm struggling on this time, man. I don't know what it is, but those on Ultras in front of me are not dropping off the pace one bit. I thought it would have come back to me a little bit by now, but their pace is just so good. But meanwhile, we are going to have a little bit of clean air now, and we can just focus on ourselves, not having to worry about Sebastian Vettel behind us. So let's just set some good lap times in standard mix and try and get the tyre life out on these. Okay, so everyone's in the pit lane now except for Max Verstappen. So these guys here are actually going for the one-stop, I think, because Raikkonen's gone for soft. So has Lewis Hamilton here. So if they're going for the one-stop strategy, that's going to completely screw me over. So I was hoping they'd go on the two, but I think they might have gone for the one, which is going to be massive for me because that means I've got a lot of tyre wear compared to these guys. So I'm just going to have to stick it out for this lap and come in this lap for soft compound tyres. But oh man, I did not see that one coming. The AI can actually make a one-stop on Ultras. I mean, that's pretty mental because that's something that's impossible for me to do. So, yeah, I think that's completely thrown the game plan off for this race. So, the only thing we can do maybe today is catch Verstappen on soft compound tyres. Meanwhile, here comes Lewis, Mercedes versus Mercedes, and it should be fairly straightforward. I'm not going to hold him up too much because I want him to win the race. So, I'm not going to cause too much trouble for him because I want him to stay ahead of Kimi. And obviously, you know, try and reduce as many points as possible from the Iceman. Hopefully, I mean, from first to second, that's 7 points. That's a lot of points that you could potentially lose out on. So I want Kimi to miss out on those 7 points because that means a big difference for the championship. But speaking of Kimi, there he is right behind me. He seems to have found some pace in the last couple of laps, majorly, because Bottas 5 laps ago was all over his back, and now he's turned on almost like God mode, and he's now in full hunting mode, and he's chasing down Lewis Hamilton here. But here we go into the pit lane. We're going to come in for our first and only stop of the race here for soft compound tyres. Disappointed with the pace, but you know, it's not always going to go well. That's a very good pit entry though, and that's going to work quite nicely for us. I mean, look, that's where Bottas is right now. Look how far ahead Kimi is, and Bottas was all over the back of him 5 laps ago, is what I'm saying. So yeah, I think Bottas might have some issues also because Verstappen's actually quite close to him, to be fair, closer than what I remember. So maybe there are some issues there on that second Mercedes car. But here we go then, on to the soft compound tyres. We're going to rejoin and let's see where we are. There's Vettel, so he's undercut us. Also Daniel Ricciardo there on my outside. We're going to just take the inside line, but Ricciardo's got the better, toastier, warmer tyres, and he goes around the outside. So right now, at least this race, at least minimum, we have to finish ahead of Ricciardo and Sebastian Vettel, because otherwise, if Raikkonen does complete the hunting process and overtakes Raikkonen, we're going to be losing so many points, and basically all the points that we made up in the last race, we're going to basically lose them. So Raikkonen might be giving himself a lifeline here with this result, as I'm currently in trouble here and I've just not got any good pace. I mean, Ocon also is behind me, so it just goes to show that the Force India car doesn't really have the rhythm around here. Oh no, oh no, oh no, this is big. Front wing damage. This isn't good. We're in trouble. Do we have any softs left? I don't think I've got any soft tyres left. Oh no, this ain't good. Right, I'm going to see what the damage is like. First of all, we're going to go up the inside of Ricciardo anyway, because he's braking way too early for my liking. I'm just going to squeeze him out there and be a little bit ruthless. But let's see what the downforce is like. I think it's sort of like yellowy orange front wing damage, so I think that's bad enough for a pit stop, and I think that's what we're going to have to do. I think it's going to have to be a pit stop, guys. I'm in trouble. I'm in big trouble. I don't know if I can make this work. I can maybe go supers and try and drag those out, but oh no. Right, okay, let's just you know, hope for the best. We're going to come in this lap for super soft compound tyres. That was a very, very bad phase of the race. My hope now is that we get a safety car. That's the only thing I can hope for, because I think this race we're not even going to score any points. That is a big mistake to make, and I just got caught out by the early braking from the guys ahead. So hopefully it doesn't affect us too badly. A 2-second pit stop there. We're going to be behind the Toro Rosso, and Magnussen's actually been behind, so we've managed to jump Magnussen. But let's see what our pace is like. We've got to try and get this to the end, and that's going to be a lot. That's going to be a big stretch, but we've got to do it. That's the only way we're going to get something out of this race now. So Raikkonen was on God mode, he was on a hunting mode, so we've got to try and find that now and try and push as hard as we can. But oh wow, oh no, my front wing has not been changed. I've just realised. Oh no, oh no. Right, third stop in 3 laps. We're going to make sure that we tick this option here, but I don't want to make the same mistake. So repair the front wing, and let's see if we can get this to the end. But oh my god, we've thrown this race down the drain. I can't believe it. That was a silly mistake for me to make because I should have done that last time, but I thought the damage was that bad that I thought the game would have automatically fixed the front wing for me, but oh well, right, let's just see what we can do. We are going to be pretty much last, and we've got half a race now, so it's basically a 25% race from last to interrogation mark challenge, so let's see what we can do. We have got a nice bit of rich mix to use, plus 1 lap, so that'll probably last us for a few laps, so let's just use these. Basically, we're back on these tyres now, which is good because we can get to the end comfortably now, but honestly, if I could pray for a miracle like Lewis said he would in Singapore in real life for a safety car, then that's what I'm asking for right now because, oh my god, I'm going to need one. Okay, right behind Marcus Ericsson now. We're up to the back of him. Rich mix is enabled, so we are flying a 36.8. That's a pretty good lap time. Not fastest, but pretty good. We've got DRS on Ericsson. It should be a fairly straightforward pass into turn 1 here. Just going to bring it down for the apex, and there we go. Nice and quick, nice and easy. Now let's continue going here. Get the hammer down. We've got to keep pushing. Every lap has to be 110% time trial, and maybe we'll get a point. Maybe, even that's going to be almost impossible. Another personal best. We're just going to keep pushing here. Got to keep pushing. Every lap has to be time trial. Right, we've got a couple of cars in the pit lane in the form of Carlos Sainz and someone else, but they're on fresh tyres, so they'll be pretty quick. That's Roman Grosjean up the road on super soft, so we'll see what their pace is like. But we're up into P16 now, making slow but solid progress. We've got to keep pushing though. Okay, we're out at Rich Mix now, so we're just pushing in standard now and see how much raw pace the car has. Grosjean makes the move on Van Dorn fairly comfortably. Van Dorn is sitting duck in that McLaren in a straight line. And what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to absolutely launch one on the brakes because I've got the tyres and I can't afford to lose any time here. So Van Dorn is going to hold it, but I'm just going to go around the outside of the Belgian here because I've got no time to waste. I've got to get a move on, and I've got to get past Grosjean and every single car that I can see on the minimap. I'm pushing so hard right now. I just don't have the pace, unfortunately. I'm trying my hardest. I'm just matching Grosjean. However, we are catching those cars ahead. I just don't think we're going to catch enough cars to get to the points, but I just got to keep pushing and try my hardest here. But myself and Grosjean are very similar pace, but he is on fresh super softs. But still, I'm not giving it up just yet. Grosjean apparently has a problem now with his car all of a sudden, so that's going to make the parts a hell of a lot easier for me. And we've co-opted the McLaren of Fernando Alonso also, so this should be a fairly straightforward pass on the Frenchman. And I just don't think we're going to get anything out of this race now. I'm trying my hardest. I'm really pushing to the maximum of my ability, but I just don't think we've got enough laps. And I think Raikkonen's going to get a big points overhaul on me this race. So fair play to him. He deserves it. I mean, after the last race, that was a bit unfair.
The drama and excitement are over, and it's time to let it all sink in. Congratulations to our top 3 today.
Right, so looking at the final race results after that race, Kimi Raikkonen has won the USA Grand Prix ahead of Sebastian Vettel and Max Verstappen. Lewis Hamilton can only manage 4th place, so his pace went absolutely nowhere on that soft tyre and he just dropped off the face of the earth. Daniel Ricciardo P5, Esteban Ocon in 6th place and Nico Hulkenberg in 7th. Valtteri Bottas also, his Mercedes car, dropping off the face of the earth on the one-stop strategy. Seeming like the soft tyre did not work with Mercedes cars there and they completely vanished into oblivion. Julian Palmer Magnussen ran out the points, but we scroll further down the order. For the first time this season and for the first time in my career mode, I believe, I've picked up a DNF and I've been followed in the DNF department by Pascal Wehrlein and Lance Stroll, but a first non-points finish because of a DNF in this career mode, and that's a big sucker punch to take, and there's going to be big things from the Drivers' Championship. As you can see, the race is back on. Kimi Raikkonen is 9 points behind me after that race, and I bet he can't believe he's like after the last race in Japan. He's bounced back in a big way this weekend, and the Tartar race is back on. And there's 3 more races to go after this, so it's going to go right down to the wire. In terms of the constructors, Ferrari get a big boost after that 1-2, and they pull out a gap to 92 points and pretty much guarantee themselves the constructors' championship. But we're going to jump to the laptop now and we're going to take swift action to purchase an upgrade, and hopefully that should arrive for Abu Dhabi. Right, so after that race, you can see that Verstappen now has overtaken me in the rivalry. Also, I'm on the driver expectation bar, not doing particularly great. In terms of R&D, obviously, we are going to get some upgrades, but also just important to note the team charts you can see right now. I am planning on leaving Force India at the end of the season, unless if I don't win the championship. If I don't win the championship this season with Force India, then I might do another season with them. But as you can see, that is currently how things look in the driver contract situation. But we're going to go back to the R&D screen because we need to get an upgrade, and we need that upgrade quick because we've lost a bit of performance, and I don't know how that's happened, but we're going to get this upgrade here, which is the major sort of an ultimate almost downforce upgrade in terms of the aero, and this should give us a big boost. And as you can see, Renault have actually overtaken us here, so this is going to get us back up to 4th place, and this upgrade should take us above Red Bull. So this is going to take 2 weeks to arrive, so it will arrive for the last race in Abu Dhabi, but we're going to go ahead and purchase that, and hopefully that will arrive, like I said, for the last race of the season. That's basically going to be pretty much the last upgrade we will make in this career mode, and that upgrade will take us above Red Bull because we need to chase that World Drivers' Championship down. But other than that, guys, that's going to wrap things up for this episode at Kota. A disappointing one, and the wrong time for a bad episode. But you know, sometimes these episodes happen and sometimes you have bad races. But if you guys enjoyed the video nonetheless, then please do slap a like on the video. Also subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, and also do check out the videos on screen right now if you have missed them, and also do check out GTA Mega, the links down below in the description, and use the code TOM97 for a 5% discount at checkout. Other than that, guys, I thank you ever so much for watching this episode of Career Mode, and I'll see you in my next video very soon. Goodbye.